This is Formula 1. It's a car racing sport at over 200 miles per hour, held in the greatest and grandest circuits in the world. It's contested by the most skilled drivers and manufacturers, making the most technologically advanced cars in the world. So here's a complete guide to Formula 1. If you don't know what F1 is, you probably have seen these. They are basically the cousins of F1. NASCAR looks the least like Formula 1, having mostly oval tracks, and looking similar to a normal car. IndyCar looks more like Formula 1, having randomly shaped roads and open wheels. But the main difference is that NASCAR and IndyCar all have to race in basically the same type of car, meaning that it's the driver's skill to win. But in Formula 1, each car is designed in a different way by each team, meaning that most of the competition is the design of the car. But what's even cooler is that the car is upgraded throughout the season, sort of like making this a space race but for cars. That's what makes Formula 1 one of the fastest evolving car sports today. Each team has 2 cars to represent them, and each Grand Prix or race lasts 3 days on the weekends. Friday is practice, Saturday is qualifying, and Sunday is race day. The order in which the drivers set the fastest lap on qualifying day determines the lineup for the starting grid on race day. Each driver before the race starts has a different position. For example, 10th place is over 200 feet away from the starting line, so that means it really matters how fast you are on qualifying day. There are 2 types of championships. The fastest driver gets first place in the Drivers' Championship, while the fastest team, which is both drivers' points combined, gets first place in the Constructors' Championship. If you've ever wondered why F1 cars look the way they do, it's because of one of the most crucial things in the sport: downforce. Downforce is what pushes the car to the track. It's kind of like an upside-down airplane wing. Most of the air goes above the wing and less beneath it, basically sucking the car to the ground and giving the driver more control. All this downforce gives the car the ability to theoretically drive on the ceiling at high speeds. But all of this downforce gives the car a problem. When the car is moving on the straight part of the track, the downforce pressing the car down slows it down. This is why Formula 1 cars have the drag reduction system, or DRS. The rear wing can open in certain zones when the driver is within 1 second of the car ahead to reduce aerodynamic resistance and go faster. Air also flows throughout the car for cooling and aerodynamic efficiency, but there are still way more aerodynamic features of the car that would make this video hours long. Formula 1 cars have a complicated building process. First, engineers brainstorm and draw designs focusing on things like aerodynamics, suspension, and overall layout. Then they perform simulations to model and predict the aerodynamic behavior of the car. After that, they use a CAD model to help with precision engineering and manufacturing. Then they perform wind tunnel tests using 60% scale models to refine aerodynamic abilities. Then they precisely pick out lightweight and strong materials, mostly carbon fiber. After that, they use machines for metal parts and composite layout for carbon fiber parts. Teams with in-house manufacturing abilities quickly produce and iterate designs. Then they track test to evaluate the car's performance in real-world conditions, gathering data on control, speed, and reliability. Finally, advanced simulators analyze the car's performance and predict how changes will impact it. Your conventional car engine today is most likely a 4-stroke internal combustion engine. Getting into all the details about how engines work is probably for a different video. However, there are a few things in an F1 car that your car might not feature. Firstly, an F1 car has a turbocharger to compress the air before it's ignited. This motor-generated unit kinetic, and the MGUH, motor generator unit heat, that harnesses energy from braking and exhaust to boost performance. These upgrades help the car receive an additional 160 horsepower, bringing the total power to around 1,000 horsepower. All of this contributes to saving tiny amounts of time. This is a pit stop. An F1 pit stop is a moment during the race when a car veers off the main track into the pit lane, stopping in its assigned pit box for maintenance. This process involves a fast tire change, although it may include minor adjustments to the wing or brakes. In contemporary F1, where refueling is prohibited, tire changes stand at the sole required service, and the elite teams accomplish this in a brief span of under 2 seconds. Here's an overview of regulations of pit stops in Formula 1. Anytime during the race, the driver can drive into the pit lane, but it has speed limits and entry or exit rules. In a dry place, each car must use at least 2 different compounds of dry tires, soft, medium, or hard. Between lights out and the checkered flag, 1 tire change is minimum. Failure to do that carries a time penalty. The pit lane has a strict speed limit. limit, usually 60 to 80 kilometers an hour, depending on the circuit. Speeding in the pit lane often draws penalties, typically a time penalty added to race time. A maximum of 20 crew members are allowed over to the pit wall during practice, qualifying, or race. Of those, 4 must handle jacks, 2 for the front and 2 for the rear. 8 must operate the wheel guns, 2 per wheel, and the remainder stabilize the car or carry authorized adjustments. Everyone has to wear full fire-resistant overalls, helmets with visors or face covering, gloves, and socks. The team can only release its car once it's safe to do it. One that can hurt another member or driver usually brings a 5 to 10 second time penalty, which is sort of huge. On leaving the pit box, the driver must obey the speed limit until passing the pit lane exit line. Crossing the white line at the pit exit improperly or rejoining the track unsafely leads to a penalty. Drivers generally can't overtake between pit entry and exit except under safe conditions. The Formula 1 cost cap limits the amount of money teams can spend per car, design, development, and operations during the season. The limit started at $140 million during 2023 to 2025 seasons. For 2025, the engine cost $10.5 million, the chassis cost around $650,000, the gearbox costs around $330,000, the front wing costs $150,000, the spoiler costs $75,000, the brakes cost $200,000, the steering wheel cost $50,000, the hydraulics cost $150,000, the halo cost $150,000, the tires cost $2,700, transporting the cars costs around $8 million, logistics can cost over $1 million, hosting fees can cost from $15 to $50 million, but